Brittany Egbert from One Charming Party, and I have a special treat for you today. We have Heather Smith here from the Gygi Company, or Gygi's for short, as I like to call it. And she is going to show us how to make some cute dough here.
Yes.
But first, my mother was a caterer, and all growing up, she took me to Gygi's all the time, and I just grew up in that store. And I love it. I'm so excited now. I go there and buy so much fun stuff.
Yes, everyone kind of knows it as their grandma's favorite place to shop. And so now that people are starting to get a little bit older and just discovering that the kitchen's actually a fun place to be, they're realizing what a fun, great place Gygi's is. We really do have everything kitchen related.
You do. I love that. Every time I go in there, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. So will you tell us really quick maybe how Gygi's got started?
Yeah, the business was around about 65 years. It was started by my great-grandfather, Orson Gygi, who it's named after. And he started as kind of a little restaurant supply for all the little mom and pop restaurants around Salt Lake, Idaho, Wyoming, kind of. There's nothing really here, and so he started doing that, and it's kind of evolved into this cooking mecca where you can get anything kitchen related, candy, party supplies, really anything. We really have a good time.
You do. So can you find most of that stuff online?
Yes, yes. We've got a great website, and we're adding things every day. Our inventory is always changing, so yeah, we've got a great website.
So if you're here in Utah, then you can go to their store in Salt Lake City. Otherwise, gygi.com.
Yes.
Okay, so should we get started?
Yes, today we're going to make...
step me through this.
Okay, we're going to make some modeling chocolate, or some people call it chocolate clay.
Let's call it chocolate clay for the kids.
So it's something fun that the kids can do. I also like doing it as an adult. It's a good alternative instead of rolled fondant. It tastes a lot better, and it's actually easier to work with. It doesn't dry out as quickly, so it's fun to do, to mold things as well as put on cakes. So it's a fun thing to do.
Perfect.
So we're going to start with some guittared appeals. It's the same type of thing as you would find like the Wilton candy melts. I like the taste a little bit better of the guittared appeals, and so that's why we went with that today. This is the one time that I'm not going to recommend using the high quality chocolate. These are made with like oils rather than cocoa butter, so it blends a lot better with the corn syrup that we're doing, and you'll get much better results with it. So use the lesser quality stuff for this.
So can you use like brown chocolate for this?
Absolutely.
You play it with
today we chose to do colors and white,
colors.
but brown and milk and dark chocolate work wonderful as well.
Perfect.
So what we're going to do is take 10 ounces of chocolate, and you're going to put it in a microwave-safe bowl. And we've already microwaved these here for you. And so we've taken this and melted it to this consistency where it's pourable.
But how long in the microwave? I used to do like 30 seconds, stir 30 seconds, kind of like that.
And I do it on a half power for about a minute. Every microwave is different, so until you figure that out for sure, maybe kind of test your microwave with 30-second increments on half power if you know how to change that.
Oh, yeah.
Once chocolate burns, it spreads throughout the whole thing, and it's the worst
I didn't think chocolate could burn, and once I burned it, and I was, okay, chocolate can burn.
Yeah, you go to scoop the bottom, and you see little brown specks, and it just breaks your heart. So be careful not to burn your chocolate. But we're
so did you say 10 ounces, about a cup?
10 ounces. Yeah, it's a little bit over a cup. A cup's 8 ounces. So we went. If you have a scale, it's the best way to do it. But 10 ounces is what we've used here, and then we're going to add a 1/3 cup of corn syrup. Just the light corn syrup. We've sprayed the insides of these measuring cups.
Just pour it in?
So, yep, and so they come out right to be the exact 1/3 cup.
Instead of all sticking in there like...
nothing worse. And then once you've got it in there, you're just going to stir it and just keep stirring. Oftentimes you think, okay, this is not turning out. It's starting to clump. It's not really getting the consistency I want.
Oh, you're stirring fast. I should stir faster.
But just stir it. And you'll stir it until it pulls away from the sides of the bowl. You can see it's starting to get a little thicker.
Yep.
This is when silicone spatulas are wonderful.
Yes, they are.
If you don't have one, I highly recommend.
So if you use too much chocolate, I mean, you kind of need to follow the recipe exactly, right? Because you need the corn syrup to chocolate ratio, right?
Yeah, and baking's one of those things that you kind of really have to follow it pretty strictly. With cooking, you're a little more freedom, but with baking, you want to make sure that you follow your recipe pretty strict. If not, if you get too much corn syrup, your chocolate dough may not set up all the way and have a little bit of liquid left in it, and then when it's done hardening, it'll be a little gooey. In yours, we've used the vanilla appeals that are already colored, and Colors like red and black and brown, I highly recommend.
Those are so hard to put so much food coloring in there.
This pink is actually something that I tried to make red to kind of show you, but then I added a little more pink to make it bright. But it ended up being...
also, you used red food coloring and it turned out pink. Yeah, you're not going to get red from...
Yeah. And so I...
Just a little tip for you.
So this one's already colored, but you can use just the regular food coloring to color the white. I recommend an oil-based food coloring.
Like this AmeriColor?
Yeah.
And you guys have that?
Yeah, we do. It's only $1.99, and it's a great thing to have in the kitchen. You can really use it for everything. But you can just add it here. I always
Does mine look right? Mine looks different.
Yeah, just keep stirring. It's a little warm.
And then you added the food coloring. Oh, so mine is wrong?
No, yours is right.
You added the food coloring after the corn syrup, I noticed.
Yeah, I'm a little afraid of adding food color to chocolate sometimes. And
yeah, because that's what I would think.
Yes.
You just add the chocolate.
So the corn syrup will help kind of protect your chocolate.
Okay.
So once it's stirred all together, you'll want to throw it in the fridge. I sometimes put them in Ziploc bags.
So the whole bowl in the fridge, or this in take it out and put it in a Ziploc bag?
Either way, you can put that in a Ziploc bag or put the whole bowl covered just so it doesn't harden in the fridge for about 2 hours. And then once it's hardened, it'll feel really pretty solid in your bag. And then I take it out and kind of knead it in the bag for a while because I don't want to get my hands too messy. And then I take it out and you'll knead it just like you would rather, like regular rolled fondant or cookie dough.
Like a Play-Doh.
Or things like that, yeah. So then we've taken this here. This one's we've already worked out all the hardness, and now it's really just pliable.
Oh, I love
chocolate.
that. That's a great dough.
Yes.
My kids would love that, seriously. And my kids are a little older, but when they were little, they'd eat all the Play-Doh.
Oh, I've caught my son at church under the table eating the Play-Doh. So absolutely. It's not, I think it's every kid's dream to eat that. For some reason, they think it tastes wonderful. So we've given them their dreams here.
Dream fulfillers.
So from here, it's really pretty creative. Last night, we gave this to some of the kids in the neighborhood and just kind of let them play. We've got cookie cutters that you can use to form stuff, or else you can use it to actually mold like bees, or we've used it for pumpkins at fall time to put on top of cupcakes.
That's perfect right now, yeah.
Really anything that you want to make.
So I see we have these Silpats here.
Yes.
Could you do it straight on your counter?
Absolutely. If you want to, just spray it a little bit.
Some Pam.
Yeah. And then like right now, these are a little sticky. I take some powdered sugar and you can sprinkle that.
You do it.
Just to keep your rolling pin from sticking. And just kind of knead that on there.
That's a great tip. So no flour.
No flour. You don't want to add anything that will add a little bit
sugar.
of flavor like that. And there's plenty of sugar in chocolate. So you're not adding anything that's not already there.
Exactly. When your kids eat it, they're not going to notice them.
Exactly.
Because you know I'm not going to eat this after.
I'd lie if I said I haven't snacked on a few pieces while trying to figure this out. This pink one is actually strawberry flavored, so you can add flavorings to them as well.
Yummy.
And to make it a little more exciting, and you know, not that white chocolate's not good tasting, but at least it had some flavor.
So I'm going to try cookie cutter. We got a circle.
Perfect. And from here on, it's really whatever you want to do. I've sometimes taken the circles and then cut out a smaller circle inside of it and then taken kind of the red and put it inside of it. So then you've got something fun to put on top of a cupcake, or even, you know, just something for the kids to play with.
That's so cute.
We've got this really fun people cutter that I let my daughter take and make some people yesterday, and you can see here we've used these edible food writer markers. I don't know if you can see those. And she was able to cut it. So it's almost like edible paper dolls.
Yeah.
You know, you can take the different pieces and put them with different things. This does harden as it sits out for a while. So if it was something that they wanted to keep playing with, you know, they could really
I think this is perfect at a party. Like you could. Do you think the kids could make it? You'd have to wait 2 hours. So maybe you would have to have already started it, but then the kids could play with it.
Yeah, and because kids don't have a whole lot of patience anyway, so to give them these big balls of Play-Doh to play with and say, okay, let your imagination go wild.
With the markers?
Perfect for little kids.
That would be a great activity. Speaking of activities at parties, so I'm sure you have kids, and you plan parties and the activities for your kids. It seems like when I started planning parties for little kids, my kids, other kids, you'd plan 5 activities and they would blow through them in like 10 minutes. And then you would have a lot of extra time to think up some activities. So I always think it's good to maybe have some of those classic games.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, in the back of your head that you can just pull out and do. like Ring Around the Rosies, London Bridges, Red Light, Green Light.
Pin the Tail on the Donkey.
Yes, things like that. And you can always adapt them for your party. If you're going to play Simon Says, you could always have it be Princess Says or Dinosaur Says, whatever you want. Things like that. Or musical chairs could be Musical Thrones or anything like that. Just adapt it and make it fun for the kids. I don't know. And also, if you're planning a party and your kid wants a character theme party, I think it's always good too. Instead of just rushing out and buying a bunch of, you know, of the plates and all the napkins that match, try and think of what does that character do? Because if your kid wants a character theme party, they won't be dissuaded.
Well, it is more fun for adults too, you know, to go and see everything completely themed. You know, it's not as fun for the adults that actually come to the party as well. So.
Right, right. So I always suggest that if your child wants a character party, to maybe think, what does that character do in the TV show, in the book, in the movie, and then do those things at your party. So you could solve a mystery at the party, or they could have their backpack or their boots and their camera, and they can go do on little adventures, maybe like their character did.
Oh, absolutely. That's a great idea.
Yeah, so that's so fun. So let's see, I think this would also be a great take-home favor.
Sure. Just roll it up in a ball and, you know, give it to them with their names on it. Make it a little personalized, or even let them choose their favorite colors. If you have a bunch of extra, let them choose whatever they want and send them on their way.
What if you mix the colors? Have you ever mixed them?
You could kind of, if you don't mix it too much, you can kind of make them tie-dyed look. But then it will blend into kind of a brown or black color. But if
don't
you
mix.
Yeah, so if you kind of twist it, I've braided them before to go around cakes.
Oh, yeah.
So done like red or blue, and then you could do a fun braid around it. So absolutely.
That's a good idea. So what does Gygi's have coming up for us for the new holidays?
Oh, lots of fun things. We've got, of course, our wonderful caramel apple classes.
Yes.
That if you're in Utah, I highly recommend coming. We teach you all the secrets. But, you know, we've got all the fun candies, and surprisingly, not everyone knows about our kind of decoration items as well. We carry, you know, plates and servingware and things like that for every holiday. So if you're looking for those things, it's a fun place to come get some great ideas.
For sure. Well, thank you so much, Heather, for being on the show today. We're so grateful for Heather and for Gygi's for providing us with these supplies. And we'll see you next time. And remember to celebrate something wonderful with your child every single day.